hopefully you can now see an analysis of the work that you've done in terms of my test system over the last few days. And let me show you what it's got. First thing at the top here, it's got the number of visits that have been made and the number of uniques, if you like, the number of different people who have analysed have gone into this system over the last few days. So, and they've looked at 550 pages. So 20 individual people have made 34 visits. Then each this next section shows a list of all the pages that they've been into and the number of pages that have been visited. So you can see that here on this one, the group page has been looked at 108 times, 13 times by a visitor, 8 times by a not logged in, and 87 times by a logged in. And then there's all the other pages that people have been into. There's a blank one, which I'll have to have a look at and find out why that is, whatever that one is.
What's the difference?
Sorry, just ask again.
What's the difference between a not logged in and a visitor?
Dee, could you mute your microphone? It's yours that's feeding back.
First one on the left. Is it?
Right. Yeah, I'm trying. What's the difference between a visitor and a not logged in?
So on the system now, if you go when you first go into the system, first look at the system, you're a visitor. But after you've logged in on that computer once, the system knows then that you are, if you like, a member because you've logged in before, but you're not logged in at the moment. Obviously, if you're logged in, you've actually logged in. So these are members who have been in before and have not logged in, whereas visitors are people who've never been to that test site, if you like, or the whatever site it is before. So when it's set up for yours, it'll tell you how many people are first-time visitors to your site. Unless you've cleared the cache. Say again? Unless you've cleared the cache and got rid of the cookie. Yes. Well, yes, it does it by storing a cookie on the computer. So if you've got a desktop and you've got a tablet, then the first time you go into each of them, the system will see you as a visitor, but second time you'll then become not logged in. Is that right, Angela?
Yes, thank you. That's fine.
Yeah, good. Okay, right. Second one looks at the device. So across the top, you've got the basically an Apple mobile, an Android mobile, an Apple tablet, and then an Android tablet, and then other things. And so on this one, you have been. It's interesting that someone's gone into Chrome on iOS, or maybe they haven't. Maybe this is not quite right, but it is. That's me. Oh, you have. Oh, okay. Oh, fine. All right.
I use Safari on iOS. It's not there.
Say again.
I use Safari on iOS on a phone. It doesn't seem to be there.
Ah, hang on. Right.
That'll do.
At the moment, I'm only showing you the full test system. In a minute, I'll go to the mobile system, and then it'll show you that. Because it analyzes them separately. So yes, so basically, what machine's been used against what browser, and then at the bottom, it then goes into more detail on groups and shows each group that's been into and what pages you've looked at in that group. So if you like, the away day group been looked in, 13 times when logged in, once when not logged in, and once when a visitor. So it's just keeping the figures for each group, so you can see which group is being accessed a lot or not, which might be useful for discussion with group leaders and things. So this is the analysis, as I said, for the full system. What you get is this. When you first load this up, you'll get this. There'll be a tab on the menu. There isn't one at the moment, but there will be a tab on your menu which you'll be able to click, and it will get into here. And then you get the choice between the live and the test system, the full system, or the mobile system. And then you can define a date range. So we'll go from the 12th of July to today. And so this is a completely separate analysis of people who've used the mobile system. And here you've got 21 visits, 19 uniques, and 286 pages. So it's about the same analysis. So does that seem helpful to people? Rather than trying
a lot easier than looking at the Google one, that's for sure.
Yes. Yeah. So it's really a question of whether it answers the questions that you're going to want to know, and whether or not there's something that can be tweaked on this, or if it's something that you want is pretty unique, then you can always just run yourself a report and analyze the table, which is called user log, or will be called user log once it ends up in your system.
Does it end up with a timestamp on each item, Chris?
Yeah,
it does.
It does. Whether it's yes, I think it's in hours, minutes, seconds, as well as a date. So you get the whole thing. Yes, it is. It definitely is. Because in terms of defining whether or not a session, it uses that to decide whether or not when a session ends and when another one starts. So if there is a 20-minute gap between using the system, normally your system will log out at that basis. And so this also will start, if you leave that 20 minutes, this will start a new session if you go in again. So it obviously won't add to the uniques, because it knows that you're coming from the same IP address, and therefore it won't add to the uniques, but it'll add to the number of visits. Okay.
The only other thing that I found in GA4, Chris, that, I mean, don't try and put this in there because it's pointless, but the only other thing I found interesting was that our second highest views were coming from China. What the hell are they looking at us from China for?
Right, good. Okay, good. You just take me on to the point I was going on to next.
Oh, all right then.
Before you go, Chris, one question. What is SDA? I'm sure everybody's going to tell me, but there was one page called SDA something on the full site. Right. Okay.
They are in systems details. They are.
Okay.
So, just trying to think with which. Oh, it'll be on the other one. It'll be on the.
It was on the full site. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
SDA, yes, yeah. SDA top is if you go into systems details, it's just the name of the script.
Okay, and just to mention it, I don't know whether anybody else tried using an Edge browser, but I deliberately used the Edge browser because I'd had a problem with it earlier, and it hasn't recorded my attempt at logging on your system. It's recorded it as Chrome rather than Edge.
Oh, I see. Has it?
Yes. You've got no Edge browser showing.
It is Chrome, actually.
Sorry, Neil?
It's Chrome, actually, Richard.
Yeah, Edge is based on Chrome, isn't it?
Yeah, so
it's the same thing.
Based Chrome.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I don't know whether that would confuse it. I don't know.
Well, the way it works is by looking at the user agent, which is passed through when anybody makes a website request, and maybe that's the problem. Maybe. I'll follow that up and have a look and see if I can.
It is certainly based on Chrome.
I mean, it doesn't bother me because I do tend to use Chrome. I was just deliberately trying to force it to use Edge.
Yes. Okay, I will have a little look.
Richard was sitting there thinking, "Oh, we'll break this if it kills me."
Yeah.
You don't know how hard I tried, Alan.
Right. Okay. Look, I will have a little look through that, and I'll find out about that one. Now, the issue is that it's not only your visitors and members that go into your website. There are also lots of things called bots, which spend their whole time running around the internet collecting data. And now there's good bots, there's bad bots, and there's neutral bots.
And there's big bots.
Yes, good bots are things like Google and Bing, who are collecting information for the search engines, and generally, that's information that probably everybody wants to collect. The system is set up, not this system, but the main system is set up so it allows bots, or the good ones, to just look at the front page, the home page, and allows it to index that. So if somebody does a search on Peterborough U3A, then it comes up as an entry, but only on one entry, one page. You'll only have one page. But it won't allow any of the other pages to be registered, if you like, or indexed in their things. So they're the good ones. The bad ones are things like the ones that go in and try and use your contact us to send all sorts of rubbish and that sort of thing. And really, all these, and the neutral ones are things that just go around collecting information for their own use, but don't do any harm, if you like. But you don't want to see any of those bots analyzed in this, because that's not going to help you at all. So I have the bit of software I'm trying to use here says it can identify the bots, but I can't tell you whether it does or it doesn't at the moment. Well, yeah, but you're only looking on Google, haven't you, Alan, when you're shaking your head?
Sorry?
You were shaking your head.
Yeah.
I assume you were disagreeing.
No. I was thinking, I couldn't care less whether little people in China are sitting there going, I want to join Peterborough U3A or not, because they're never going to join.
No, but you don't want them in your statistics.
Exactly. So
as I was saying, the bit of software I'm trying to use here to do this says it can find the bots. If it does, then this analysis will be genuinely good. If it's not, I imagine if it isn't, it's going to be not 100%. You'll get some and not others, and therefore there may be a thing, and we may have to start adjusting this to just try and identify these bots a bit more, because you could find that half of the entries into your website are bots and not.
Oh, I see.
In which case,
good point.
So it'll just totally dominate your. And if they're bad bots anyway, they won't take notice of the orders that are given to it, not to index, not to follow it, and it will follow all around the site as well. So we have to try and get rid of those.
Well, exactly. If they're what you're calling bad bots, if they're bad bots, they're being done by bad people who will find their way around anything that anyone puts in place, surely.
Yes, but what I'm trying to do is I can't stop them getting in there, but what I can do is stop them coming out on this analysis.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's it. Otherwise, you're just going to not, it's not going to be very useful to you if you get all sorts of stuff from China coming up on here. You're going to say, I've had 3,500 visitors this week, and you think, oh, that's good. Yeah. But if they're nothing to do with U3A, then
yeah, I mean, there wasn't thousands. When I looked at GA4, Chris, to start with, there wasn't thousands of them. I think there was about a dozen people from China have been looking, and I thought that's strange.
Yes, I know, but I think Google also tries to get rid of them as well, and therefore they are people who have slipped through the system.
Right. Because I've got an awful lot in there. I know there's 459 home page visits in mine.
Yeah. So anyway, okay. Look, that's what I'm going to try and do. So if anybody's got any comments, if they have a think about this, and then want to send me a note, then they can think something, I can improve this. Then let me know.
Looks good to me, Chris.
Okay. Right. Okay. Credit cards. Payment by credit card. I know, you know, maybe some of this is going to be going over old ground, but let me start and go through, and then stop me along the way if you want to go in a particular area. But I'll start from the point of you want to actually start setting up to pay by credit card, and you do that by using Stripe. And you have to create a Stripe account. And when you create the Stripe account, you then have to link it to your bank account. And you have to do that in order for payments that have been made through the credit card to be basically transferred into your bank account. And that's sort of the basic start point. So once you've got your Stripe account, what do? And once you've got it, you'll end up looking something like this, you know, obviously with no payments against it at this stage. You have got two parts to your Stripe account. You've got the
Chris,
we're still looking at the page log.
Oh, sorry, thank you. Right, got it. Yeah. Right, two parts to it. You've got a test section and a live section. In the same way as you've got a test system and a live system for U3AWeb, you've got a test, and you need to connect them both up to the test section to the test string and the live to the live. Obviously, anything that's done on the test section, it will take you through the complete process, but won't transfer any money. So you can play around with the test system, and it will go through Stripe and tell you it sent money. It never does. It's just telling you the process. You can see it's working completely. So the way you control the test system is this little button on the top right hand side here. You can move it from test mode into live mode just by moving that across. Right. So once you've got your thing, start off and set up your. Yeah, I'm in the test side. You've got to set up some information in Stripe, which you then need to transfer across into U3AWeb. So the first thing you need to do is to set up what's called some API keys. And here you've got, you go to developers, and in the developers menu, you've got this section, API keys. And here you can, you basically add a new key. We're using standard keys, no restricted keys. And I can't see where to add the key, a new key.
Anything?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, once you've added it, there is only one key per account, and therefore this key is already set up. So once you say you'd set up a key, you'd have because this one's got one, you don't get the button. So you end up with two keys. Once you said set me a key, one is this thing called a publishable key, and you can always see it's a publishable key because it always starts PK. And you know it's for the test system because it always says PK_test. In the same way, you've got a secret key, which and again, same sort of format, but this time S key and followed by test. And what you've got to do is to copy these. So there's a nice friendly click to copy here. And obviously separately, you've got to copy the secret key, but you can only do one at a time. And these need to go into the U3AWeb system in system options. Sorry, payment options. So if we move again to,
Don't forget to switch your screen, Chris.
already done. Yeah. And then in the treasures section, you have this thing called payment options. And you should have 3 card accounts already set up. So this enables you to take payments if you want to separately for membership, groups, and what's events. So basically, so you can have payment groups that can pay into more than one card account if you want to. In other words, you might have a travel section which isn't the same as, I don't know, your theatre section, I don't know, whatever. So you can do 2 for groups, and there's 1 for member. Membership is always the first one, always the top one. And so once you've set up, so you set up the Stripe account and you've got the keys, you put the keys in here and OK it. You also, well, you can, in fact, I wouldn't do it, but you can also, but I have, set up the live ones in your test system as well. You can do that, but it doesn't matter one way or the other whether you do or you don't. So, so if you decide to, obviously to have 3 or 2 use 2 of these card accounts, then you've got to set up 2 Stripe accounts. Sorry, wrong one. So you'd have to when you're when you set up your accounts, you have multiple accounts down here, and you can link between them. So you'd have to just go in and create a new account, and go through this publishable secret key all over again. Right. Okay. So once you've set that up, that links the 2 systems together. So when you make a card payment in U3AWeb, it uses those keys to actually link into Stripe, and Stripe, if you like, almost takes over the system, and you put in the card numbers, dates, and the 3-digit code, and so though U3AWeb never sees any of those. It sort of allows a sort of see-through from Stripe to come in and take that information. So U3AWeb has no access to those card numbers. So come back to the U3AWeb website in a minute. But you've then, by putting those 2 in, you've linked the 2 together. The other thing you want to do when you set up a Stripe account is to put webhooks in to yeah, webhooks. Right. Yeah. The thing about webhooks is that there's 2 of them. There's one called, as you can see, called confirm, and the other one is called transfer. What confirm does is when you make a Stripe payment, Stripe sends back information using this webhook, so using back into U3AWeb to actually update the information on the system. So it has to be in the format that's here, https:// domain name / test system cache confirm. Now the big thing here is to make certain you don't put www in. You used to be able to put www in, but since we've gone to a mobile account with a mobile subdomain, we're not using the www subdomain anymore. So it has to be without the www. So that's one thing that a number of people have tripped over on the last few months. The second webhook is just used when Stripe makes a transfer into your bank account. It's just telling U3AWeb, I've transferred so much for these people into your bank account, so it can update the system to say not only is the payment being made, but it's also been transferred into your account. So So that's all you need to set up in Stripe. The only things that I've ever found any useful in the actual Stripe account to ever use are these two pages, payments, which tells you all the payments that have been made and whether they've been successful or not. Payment, since they changed the way that credit cards were paid, it's now done as a two-part exercise. So when you start off and you say, I want to make a payment by credit card, before it presents you with the information about the card number and everything, it goes to Stripe first and starts the transaction going. And then when you actually make the payment, it then updates that. So you could find, and sometimes there are an awful lot of transactions that are started and never stopped, and we'll come along and have a look at some of those in a bit. That you'll be able to see these in Stripe as well. But if they got succeeded against, then they've happened. I think, is it there? No. No, it's not those. Maybe. Oh, I don't think it's in payments. You see these. It's in the events or in the log side of it, which I really don't use. So if it comes to here, then it's succeeded. Second page worth looking at here is just knowing what's happened in terms of transfers back to your bank account. Here it will tell you that any transfers that it's made and the dates it's made into your account. And this should balance back into you should be able to see these in your bank account. So it looks like it shows the first 4 and then you can request more. But you can also see what Stripe's owning at the moment. It says I'm sitting here with £22.13 that at some point is going to come to you in the next 5 days. You do have an option when you set up Stripe to decide how often you get that transfer made. I think you can have it daily, weekly, monthly, I think are the options.
Yeah, and it makes a difference. It depends on what bank charges. If you suffer bank charges, we set ours up to only pay out monthly because we were getting them originally daily, and every transaction was charging us for the actual bank charges, not the Stripe charges. So we set it up to monthly, so we were only getting one payment a month from Stripe. So we only picked up one set of bank charges, but obviously all the Stripe charges were going through as normal.
Right.
One thing I've found lately is, I think I mentioned it to you, Chris, is that what happens if you do a refund and there's no money in Stripe? And we found that actually they do a direct debit onto your account, but, which, knowing banks, takes about 8 days, despite the fact it's all electronic, before they can actually get the refund.
So they don't pay it to you before they pay it out.
No, they don't pay it to you. They put pending, and then you'll see that they've made a direct debit request, which for some reason, best known to banks, takes about 8 days.
Right. Okay. But I don't suppose that happens very often, I guess.
No, it doesn't, but I just said maybe people, that's what happens anyway. We found.
Right. Right. Now, there is one thing which we need to note here that just, again, very occasionally happens. If somebody makes a total mess up of putting in a payment and totally confuses the system, hopefully most of them don't end up like that. But if you do end up in that situation, the system has got a backstop, if you like, which locks the member, and that member cannot, if it happens, that member can no longer pay by credit card until that locked member thing gets rid, because they're in a mess. And you can't have half a system sort of. So it's not as if it won't happen if they just go in and sort of put in a wrong code or something like that. They've got to have done something, cut it off halfway through when it's trying to send something back, or the whole system's got confused. It doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. So sometimes maybe you might find that somebody says, well, I can't pay my thing anymore. Well, if that's the case, there is a table in the system called locked members, which you can look at and see if their membership number's in there. Obviously,
are you looking at that in Stripe, Chris, or in U3AWeb?
It's in your. You can just run a little report on the. It's a table in U3AWeb.
Oh, right.
So you can just look at it and just run a report on that small table. You'll find a few,
Okay.
If that happens, but it doesn't happen very often. But
do you happen to know off the top of your head what that table's called?
Yes, I said locked members.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So as I say, I think it's happened probably. Or I've had to do something about it twice in 7 years or something. So it's it's just to know it's there, really. Okay, right now. Sometimes you might want to have a single Stripe account for multiple details in U3AWeb, but you want it all to go through a single Stripe account. In which case, you set up, and I'll go back to U3AWeb system details. There's a setting, there's a switch here, and if I can find it, there it is. So at the moment, single Stripe account, at the moment it's set to off, but if I set it to on, and then go back to payment options where we were looking earlier on, it changes format, if you like, the top bit, and now the Stripe, now you've only got one, so you've only got one Stripe balance, and you've only got one set of oh, that's interesting. Didn't know it came up down there. I'll have to look at that. That doesn't look right. Anyway, you can set these keys here, but you set them only once again. Whereas obviously, if you're using multiple Stripe accounts, you can click them against each one of the card accounts. So everything's going through a single Stripe account. So it's worthwhile knowing which one of those you've chosen, because it makes a difference when you set the menu up on the left-hand side, which we will come to a little later on. I'll change it back. Oh dear. Okay. Right. Okay. So while we're here, we'll have a look at some of the other switches and things that are relevant to taking credit cards. You need the finance function switched on. So this is not the accounts. This is just the finance function to record payments. The accounts are done separately, if you like, being built on the top afterwards. So you certainly need finance function switched to yes. Then you've got to decide what you're going to take payments for, and you've got 4 options, as I remember. No, maybe it's only 3. It's your membership renewals, new joiners, and group payments. And so you can just say, I'll just have the renewals paid there, so that those 3 are stand independently, and the system won't ask for a card payment if for a new joiner, if you got it switched off, or whatever. You just select one you want. Also, there's a switch here about whether or not you allow linked members. So in other words, that when somebody goes in to make a payment for themselves, if they're linked to their wives, not necessarily as a joint member, but just linked, you just link them together, it will allow you to take those payments together. So if they both owe 20 quid, you can take the 40 quid as one payment. And I think that the only other thing here is you need to ensure, and I'm sure they're all right anyway, but you need Stripe test mode set on in the test system and set off in the live system. I'm sure they will come like that anyway, and it's so everybody's, I'm sure, set up like that. But that is a switch you can. So it does mean that if you want to run a live test payment, you can switch off the test mode in your in your test system, and if you've set up the live keys we looked at it earlier on, then that you can make that payment and it will go through into the bank, a proper payment into the bank account, if you want to do that. Right, okay. So let's look at payment by credit card. Let's look at the menus. Not much to look at here. It's just basically you have got 4 menu items here. If you're using a single Stripe account, then you use and you want it to come up on the left hand side, so when somebody logs in and they want to make a payment, then you use make a payment entry. If you don't want to do that, if you want to have individual ones, separate Stripe accounts for membership, then you switch on membership payment, and if you've got group payment separately, then you have separate entry. So you'd end up with two menu items, one group, one membership, or 3 if you added events as well. So so if you're using a single Stripe account, you just make a payment, and all payments, group and membership, will go through that. If you don't have a single Stripe account, then you've got to set the right one. So what will happen is, if you set the menu item wrong, like let's say you've got it as you're just taking membership payment and you don't set it to a single Stripe account, and you put make a payment, then nothing will come up in your menu. So be careful. Yes. Right. Good. Okay. So that's the menu setup for it. Let's have a look at the dashboard. So if you're not using the accounts, probably this is a sort of key area to sort of go to for just keeping control of your payments that have been made. So top part of it is the financial summary. So it's basically a breakdown of the charges that you've raised for this membership year, and how much has been paid, how many refunds you've made, how much is outstanding, and how much you've paid in fees. And the same for groups. The bottom half is to do with cash, the actual cash that's been received in the year. So you'll find the difference between these two. If, let's say, if your financial year and membership year start at the same time, you'll probably find a lot of your membership payments have been made in the previous financial year. So your cash. So although you've raised £1,800 worth of charges for 2023, probably most of the payments that are actually going to be made in 21-22. So so this keeps a thing on actual amounts, and really should, well, depending on what you use, how you set up your bank account, ties back to the payments that have been made into your bank account. So you got here direct debit ones, card payments. That's all that's on this one at the moment. You've got transfers here, which will give you details of once a transfer has been made by Stripe, you'll end up with an entry in here, and this is what that webhook's used to do, is to update the system and tell it about here. So you can always come here and see what it's there, and then if you click on that, then you get a breakdown of the people who've actually paid in that amount that's been transferred into your bank account. So it just makes it easier to reconcile it. And the same applies for direct debits. There's your fees totals for this year. Yeah, if you click on here, these are the actual payments that have been made in this year, and obviously there's not been many, but you can, because there can be an awful lot in the year and things, you can vary the start date here of the actual report. Clicking on here gives you a breakdown of the members, and by the thing, whether how much has been charged against them, whether they've paid it, that sort of information, and then from there, clicking on there takes you into their detailed payments page, if you like, for well, that one's for Tony Bear. It's quite a lot in there, isn't there? Right. Okay. I'm just carrying on. Nobody's commenting, so I'll just carry on until you stop me. So the next area to have a look at is if a member wants to have a look at payments that they've made either manually or through credit card. They've got an entry here called My Payments, and this only contains payments. As you see, there's no charges on this side. It's only the payments that they can actually see. So and if they still owe money, it shows at the bottom here how much they owe, and if they, I won't do it, but if they click on, oh no, that wasn't a wise choice. That one, it's an old one. Let's do this one. No. My test system can be out of sync because of things. So there's things in here, but essentially what should be able to do is to make a payment for it. But I've messed around it various times, and it's not that working anymore. So, but normally a normal person, if they got the list down there, they've got that, they can click on that, and that will take them to the payment sheet, the thing, so that they can make their payment. If it's a group, then it will come up on the group status, make a payment, which they can click from there and make the payment. Right. Okay. Now, one other thing I just was going to add is on this list here is a thing called multiple payment, comes up quite a lot, and that is where you pay when you've gone in for the credit card, you've clicked, and there's more than one charge outstanding. So if you've paid for you and your wife or something like that, then when the payment is made, if you click on the multiple payment, it will get this. Here's one where you paid for somebody else. So you've paid for somebody else on your linked account. So it shows the multiple payment because it's paid by you, but it is for somebody else. But if you're paying for yourself and somebody else at the same time, you get two entries here. I don't know if I can see one. Here we go. Oh no, that's not going to be on. I don't think either. No, it's no. Sorry, I haven't got an example there. But basically, you'll just show them, show both the details for both people. So that this only shows the payments. If you as the treasurer or whatever wants to see the detail of a person, then you can look at the full detail by selecting the person. And so this is the same screen as we were looking at before, except now it's got all the charges here as well. So you can see all the charges and credits and refunds and all the various stuff as well. So if you like, here's a full record of everything that's been paid by this person. So it's slightly different to the one from there before. And you can obviously make your refunds and various other things if you do it from this screen as the treasurer. Right, okay. Now, I think the one other thing to show you on here is the Stripe record. So the system maintains a record of everybody who tries to make a payment. So I did this one this morning, but I can see over the last few days, since I gave you 167, some of you have gone to the payment page, but haven't gone any further. And so this is what this system is saying. Somebody's tried to, but not succeeded. If you do get a successful payment, then the Stripe reference here is key, because that's your way of getting into Stripe to say, tell me about this transaction. If that's its unique identifier. So if we went back to Stripe and have a look, I'm sure we can find that particular payment. And where's the number? Where's the number gone?
You haven't switched screens, Chris.
You're right. Can't see the CH number for the moment, but why is it not there? Should be here somewhere. Can't see it. Okay, let's go and have a look at
Was it a membership payment, Chris?
Was it a membership payment? Yes. Oh, yes. Yes, it was. Yes. Yeah. So I can see the payment here. I just can't see the CH number, which is its you can identify it. But they've moved this round a bit. It used to sit on the top here. But okay, let's do it the other way then. If I control and thing, and then come back to Stripe, and then do a search. So it's come back to it all right. It just hasn't shown the card again. So I don't know why it doesn't show it, but anyway, it's a way by putting in that reference in the search at the top, you end up with the details of it. They give you some of the card number, but not all of it, obviously. How much fee succeeded? Who was it? Paid by Visa. So it's not giving any sort of unique information away, but it's telling you, it's giving you the best detail it can.
All we do, Chris, is in that Stripe record in U3AWeb, is if they come up with all the 0000, if you go back to that screen again, go back to the Stripe payment, you'll be able to see what I mean for those that aren't using it. George Cardy, for instance, he's got a whole stack of 0000s there. He's got no CH number. There's no fee been taken by Stripe because it shows us 3.99 0000 or 000. We just basically we ignore them because it just means that the person's been to the Stripe screen and abandoned the transaction. Because as soon as they hit that pay by card screen, Stripe registers it, but then if they go, oh no, maybe not, oh, I'll come back to it later because I can't find my card.
No, I think some people just look at it, see if it works.
Well, yeah. Oh yeah, I get the screen okay, but I'm not doing it now.
Doing
So
it now, that's right. And then it don't work again.
yeah, so they just abandon it. Yeah, exactly. If they go to it from the one-time link,
Yeah.
but it just means they've abandoned it.
That's right.
Yeah, you never know why they've done it. We had one when we did our membership, and there were 6 for them, for the one person, and then finally, on the 7th try, it went through.
Yeah, that's if they're logging in to do it, isn't it? Not from the one-time link that you send out with renewals.
Yeah, and you just don't know why, and they don't come to you and say, "Oh, I've tried blah 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 blah," 6 times or whatever, and it hasn't done it. They just don't tell you.
Yeah, there's no accounting for old people, Stephen.
Just people, not old.
So there's 4 dates there you can see, and the 4 dates relate to, or dates and times, if you like, is the time it was originally raised. So as you're talking about, they've gone to the car. If they've gone to, like the second one down there, they've gone to and filled the details in, then you get the second date. If it's been rejected, they put the wrong number in or something like that, you get the second date, and then the 4th date, the fourth time is the third one is Stripe saying fine, good, okay, and the 4th one is perhaps just explain this. When Stripe say yes, that's all right, everything's gone okay, a background task in U3AWeb goes round every minute and looks for those that have said okay, and then goes and spreads that all the rest of the outside the rest of the system. So if you're looking and you've only got 3 dates, that means that it hasn't yet done the 4th thing. So if you go and try and look into that page we just looked at of the personal details, it won't show the payment because it hasn't finished it off yet. So you need all 4 dates and times to show that it hasn't finished. You can see the bottom 2. I've got an hour out on that top one. That's 1/8/21. Yeah. So it's GMT as opposed to BST. Stripe, that's Stripe's information. I'm not sure that's right, actually. I probably need to have a look at that. Those dates should be sequential. I will have a look at that.
Well, the timings may be, Chris, because they're on US Eastern Standard Time as opposed to UK time.
Well, they'd be on GMT rather than summertime.
UTC, perhaps.
Yeah. So there is but there's a thing there which I probably needs to look at, because they're slightly. I would have expected the first one to be first, the second one to be next, then the third, then the 4th, but that's not it. Even if you add for the hour, you've got the first, the third, the second, and the 4th. So something slightly funny there. I'll have a look at it and check it out.
Chris, where's the best place to find a report of the gross, the fee, and the net? The net goes to the bank. The fee you get an invoice for. The gross amount received, or the gross payment, is what has to go into the income in the account. Where's the easiest place to get a report on that?
So let's go back to the dashboard then.
Is it in transfers?
Transfers will give you the nets. It will give you 117 less 142 is 115.58. Does that give you what you're? So it's not actually giving you the 98p that.
No, because when we do the bank reconciliation to what's actually gone into the bank, I will see the net amount going in the bank. But when I do the accounts, I have to put the gross income in and show the invoice amount or the fee in the gross expenditure. So I just want some sort of report of the 3 figures.
Diane, I've just sent a message to everybody on how I do it because I follow
right.
the same approach.
Sorry, I've not logged in recently, so.
No, I've just sent the message on this call just this minute.
Okay, thanks.
So how do you do that then, Phyllis?
I log into Stripe and run a quarterly report showing the gross income received and charges deducted. The net figure should agree to funds received in the bank, and you'll find this under Reports, Payout Reconciliation, Last Quarter, Download, and it gives you the information so that you can gross up your fees. And I've taken notes on this because I've been treasurer for 6 years, so I've got to stand down next year.
That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, so
yeah,
that's where I found it.
Yeah, okay, so I'll have a look at that one when I can see properly.
Is it a total you're looking for, Phyllis? There, is it?
Well, it's so that you can see the net figure that has been paid from a Stripe into your bank account, and you can also see a figure for the charges. And
is that on a transaction by transaction basis?
I can't remember. I do it, I think, for say like the last quarter, so I'd need to sort of go and have a look.
Okay.
But I do it, say, on a date period. Because, say, I'm doing our accounts quarterly now because we're not so big.
That's something I was thinking of doing because of the delays in the transfers as well.
Yeah, but I think you could probably get them monthly or that. But that's the area to go to in Stripe is reports and payout reconciliation is what I've used.
Yes, it's just to get the right figures from the bank reconciliation and for the accounts information.
If you want any more correspondence on it, I'm sure we can swap email addresses.
Okay, thanks.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay. I think that's. Oh, sorry. One last thing. I think you do have an option for if you have somebody who wants to pay by card and doesn't fancy doing it, is quite happy to give you the information over the phone, then you can, if you set a switch, which is something like membership secretary takes, can't remember what it's quite called, somewhere down here, you can take that membership payment yourself. Anyone remember which switch it is?
It's there somewhere, Chris, because we use it a lot.
Yeah. So look, I'll have a look afterwards. If anybody wants to know,
try using your search function.
Well, I could, but I'm okay. I can see.
Is it that? Oh, I've lost it. Oh, you've switched it off now.
Yes, the financial information.
Is it that?
It's not necessarily all in there, though.
Subscription direct. Is it that?
No, it's not subscriptions. No, that's the subscription separately.
Right.
It's one of these. I just can't see it at the moment. I thought it's this one. I think. Yeah, card payments. It says on here, but you can set it to anything you like. But it's that one. It's that switch there. So if you set it, then if you go into your membership directory, you get this little card symbol down the side here, and if you click on the card symbol, you can make that payment on behalf of them.
Yeah, that also comes up if you do member view and pick up the individual, which is we're going to be using that a hell of a lot next week. Because what we've got is we've got a reasonable proportion of our members who say, oh, I can't do it online. Or no, the best one is I don't like putting my details in online. So I thought I'd come along to Activities Day and pay now. Have you got a credit card with you? Yes. Okay. If you'd like to give me the details, what I'll do is I'll put it in online for you. It's doing exactly the same thing. So you're still doing it online, but you're doing it for them. We've got 3 people set up to do it all because we suspect we're going to get about 500 people turn up.
I suppose you could just turn the screen around and allow them to type it in. When
Yes, we've got 3 options on how they do it. They either read their number out, they give you the card, or you turn it around and they do it.
Okay.
One thing to be aware of, guys, which we've only just come across, because Chris has brought in this thing about if anybody runs joint membership, if they are joint members, only the primary pays, and they pay
The
for
question:
Can we
look at refunds?
Yeah. Okay. Just let Alan just finish his little point.
Yeah,
I'll go through those. Yes.
Yeah, only the primary pays, and unfortunately, we had one member who was a joint member, and he paid, and then after he paid, he came through and said, "Oh, by the way, my wife's not rejoining this year," which was the second part of the joint membership. So we were then up the Swanee. We'd taken his joint membership payment and had to do what we try to do now is we say before we start renewals, which for us is at the beginning of July, I think it is, before we start renewals, if you're going to change your membership type, please let us know before we kick it off.
But Alan, surely all you have to do is to go into his record, refund his payment, change your membership type, and then he can repay.
Yeah, we got round it in the end, but it
we lose money then, though.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. But as I say, it's just one to be aware of, that if they're going to change their membership type at the start of a new year, ask them to do it before you kick renewals off, because it saves you all the messing about. Refunds, Chris.
Okay, refunds. Right. Okay. So there are simple and complicated refunds methods. So if you've got a system whereby you need to get multiple authorizers for a refund, then a refund is not a simple thing. Not a simple thing to do. I mean, it's not for the system. That is not. So I didn't plan for this. So we'll have a little look and see if we can make a refund on a payment. And see what happens. Let's have a look at its distance. Okay, here we have a payment made last year, £14. So you've got the refund down the right-hand side thing. So please confirm that you wish to refund. Yeah.
Looking at that, Chris, that was the problem we ran into with this fella. He paid the full amount for joint membership, and we only wanted to give him a partial refund, and that was where we hit the problem.
You only gave him a partial. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think your best plan then is, if you want to do a partial, go to Stripe and make your partial through Stripe, and then you can just make a simple financial adjustment here, and it all ties up.
Yeah, that's what we did.
Okay.
Oh, messing about.
So you're hang on, let me just get this right. Rather than actually doing it through the web, is to do a refund direct through Stripe. But does that Stripe then, I'm just thinking, pick it up back in the system?
No.
Or do you have to do that manually?
If you're doing partials, we're only talking partials here, Stephen. Yeah. If you're doing a partial, we had a conversation about, I think, 18 months ago about whether it needed to go the hassle of going partial refunds, and decided there was really sort of a very low demand for it, and therefore we didn't bother, because it's going to be, because then you've got so many, it gets very complicated about what you want to and that sort of thing. And so the easiest way was to do a Stripe adjustment, and then just make your financial payment.
Yeah. Yes, Stephen, I come to the conclusion some of the adjustments we were doing in the past are overstating either income or expenditure. Which is what I was trying to get right.
What a surprise.
Yeah, what a surprise.
Originally, it did actually refund the Stripe payment as well, but it doesn't do now.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, you mean the fee? It does.
Yeah.
It refunds.
We understand the fee.
You don't get the fee back anymore. That's right.
No.
When we first set this up, you did, didn't you?
Yeah.
And so you could make refunds whenever you wanted to, and it was you were no worse off. But they keep the strike fee now. Yeah. Right. Okay. I just put a refund in. I can't remember who I put the refund in for. I can't remember who it was now.
Don't matter, does it? You can just go to authorised refunds.
Well, let's go and see where that is then.
Treasurer, probably.
Yeah, there's an entry somewhere which says. I don't think it's. Oh, it may be in Treasurer.
Yeah, it is. It is in Treasurer.
Not in the way I.
Authorised, no.
No, it's not. It's a separate one. Am I? Who am I in? Let's have a look. I should be in my. Oh, I'm in there. I should be able to see authorised refunds.
Well, you might not have it set.
Well, maybe I haven't. Yes.
It's the fourth one down, is it?
And that's refund authorisers. That's a different matter. Depends on that's who you nominate as refund people who can refund authorised refunds.
It does have to start with authorised refund. The other one is refund authorisers.
Yeah.
Why can't I see that? Is it there? And I'm just not.
No, I think you've not got it in the left-hand menu, have you? You need to add it.
And you haven't got it lifted to the treasurer either.
Okay.
And can I object, Chris? Can you get rid of that load of tosh about Tottenham at the top of that page?
About what?
About Tottenham, Harry Kane and Son. Get rid of it. There, Tottenham.
You should be supporting Peterborough anyway now. We have to support Crewe. Christ.
I'm not that posh.
Yes, to be honest, I haven't set it up, so sorry. Refunds, you can do it if you haven't got authorizers and that sort of thing. You can do it by just clicking the right hand item, and it will go off and do it. If you have the authority to do it, and that's literally just clicking the item, and it will go through in a.
Well, have a look in refunds, Chris. And if that's the case, it'll be there.
Yeah, but I suspect I've probably got it set to actually go through the authorizers, and I don't have the authorizers set. I don't think.
Well, just that. Oh.
Oh, sorry, come on.
You've got nothing else.
I don't have anything for refund set. Oh, it's a drop down, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a drop down. Well, let's just take a risk.
No, you've got refunds. You've got refunds. It's authorised refunds.
Have I got refunds?
Yeah, you've got refunds already in Treasurer.
Oh, am I? Okay. Oh, well, maybe that's. Right.
So it's still stuck somewhere.
Yes. Yes, it's pending refunds, which so it hasn't been authorised. So there's the.
You need the authorised refund in the left-hand menu of where you were.
Let's see if that gets it there. Authorised refunds. No, it's not come up, is it?
You have to press home again, don't you?
I have. I've done it twice. Yeah, did it twice. Yeah. Yeah. So
you've not set anybody to be the authorizer. That's what it is. You haven't set anybody. It won't show. I found that out.
Oh, didn't it? Mm.
Yeah. No, it won't show unless you've got to set the authorizer.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly. You can. Yeah. You can do.
And you do that by that's all that's in
treasurer. Yeah. Treasurer.
Got a treasurer.
That's it. Refund
authorizers. That's the one.
And then set yourself up.
Can't.
Oh.
No, that's that. Yes. No, I think you've got to set it up to start with in
authorities.
Oh yeah.
You've got to give yourself.
Oh yeah.
Refunds authority, which I have got.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I'll well, it's. I think it's in the instructions how to do it in the help.
It depends on what chain you've got. I mean, you can have up to I don't know. Is it about 5 authorizers?
Yeah.
And then you can have a mandatory authorizers. So it's got to go through several people.
Oh, I tell you what, I suspect is I've only got one authorizer, and therefore it probably just goes straight through.
Yeah.
No, it hasn't done, has it? 'Cause it wasn't in refunds.
Is anybody else? Huh?
It did say on that previous screen refunded, as in the past.
Oh, right. Didn't show in refunds, though, did it?
No, it didn't. No. I'll tell you what, let's try one more and then we'll move on because, oh, well, we're nearly out of time anyway, to be honest, aren't we? So, right, one more. Right. I'm going to refund payment made in February. £6. That's the answer. Right. Okay. So now, doesn't matter. Right. So now I'm the
So that's because you've got nobody as authorizers, isn't it?
I didn't. I only had one, which was me. So now I can just authorize.
Yeah, 25th of the 7th. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. But now I've got to authorize it as me. So I've got to go back to Treasurer. No, I still haven't got the ability to authorize it, have I?
No, you haven't got the menu item, have you? Go back to the side menu in system details.
Didn't the link still say connect to the BBC? Although you changed...
It says go to the BBC.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, what's happened now? Oh,
that one.
That's the other one. I got the wrong one. It did. You're right.
Go to BBC. It's the black one.
It's the black one on the left-hand menu.
Hey!
Hey, it's it.
Refunded. Right. It's just as simple as that.
It is pretty simple once you've done a few.
It is simple, but that's only if you need multiple authorizers.
Yes.
If you don't have multiple authorizers, it goes through without going through all that hassle, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If you don't have to, if you don't have it, you can just click it, can't you? Or oh no, does it? I can't remember now. Does it need at least one person to authorize it?
Well, you did it. You authorized it once, didn't you yourself? I don't know what you've got set.
Yes. So if I go back to the financial information, it's the refund's been made and it's gone through Stripe, and you're back here with the Stripe information.
Yeah.
So it does work, but sorry, I didn't prepare this, as you can tell, or it would have been a bit slicker than that.
Get away.
Yeah.
More alarmingly, Chris, I've got 236 people in locked members.
Right. Okay. Well, we better have a look at that then.
Yeah. And they're all still live.
Sorry?
They're the live ones. There's more than that in there, but there's 236 currently live members in there. Who, interestingly,
You've got 236.
Yeah.
Did you say 36 or 236?
236.
236 and completely cocked the system up.
Well, seemingly, but they've all paid when you look.
Well, we'll have a look at that then. Have a look at that afterwards then. Yeah.
Okay.
Locked accounts. Okay. Right, Roy. Sorry about the refunds. That wasn't terribly clear, but.
Thank you, Chris. We do multiple authorizers, so ours is the more complicated.
So
that's only setting it up, Roy. That's the only thing. It's not complicated once you've done it. They all have to authorize it.
I've managed to make it look terribly complicated, but it isn't, honestly.
Yeah, I've made some notes, so I'll go through and check it. Thank you very much.
Right. Okay. Look, I don't think we've got time for the direct debits today, since we've spent so much time on this. So, look, does any other questions anybody want to ask?
We're disappointed to miss the direct debits because we're going to need to move on this fairly soon if I want to get it set up ready for our next time. And is there somewhere where it's documented what we actually have to do?
Yes.
We're starting from scratch. We don't have anything with go cardless. I've been told we have to get some authority that we're a suitable organisation to do direct debits from a bank. But I've kind of got absolutely nothing on this to even
Okay. Would you like
what to do on the system.
Right. Would you like to have another call? Or, we'll have a sort of one-to-one on it and go through it. Is that probably the best way?
That might be a good idea. Yes. Yeah.
Or does other people want to know about direct debits as well? Or should we? If it's you, we'll arrange a call and just go through it. And maybe if Neil or Alan or who actually use, I can tell you the theory of it if you like, how the system works, but maybe practice it might benefit from either Alan or Neil being on the call as well, just to tell you how it actually feels.
We don't use direct debits at the moment, but I'm interested in knowing about it. So
Okay.
that when it comes along.
Then I'll set up a call for anybody who wants to talk direct debits. We'll have a specific call on that in the next week or so.
Yeah, throw me in, Chris. If I'm available, I'll join. But obviously, if I'm not, I won't.
Okay. Well, we'll try and make sure everybody's available. Yes.
Yeah, just for the sort of the feel of it, because we've been using it now for a couple of years, and it's
exactly yes, yeah.
It's slick to say the least.
Right. Okay. I'll do that and try and set something up for what day of the week sort of is okay for everybody. Monday afternoons again. Not next Monday afternoon.
Probably.
No idea.
I can do that, but not Monday mornings.
Is that your morning?
Next week. What about you, Paul? Paul?
I haven't got my diary, so I don't know if I'm free next Monday or not. I would imagine so.
Okay.
I can do next Monday, Angela.
I can't do next Monday. No. That's the 1st of August, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't do next Monday.
Okay.
Do we want to do Google poll help, and then we can sort that out later?
Yeah. Okay. Well, what about later in the week? Sort of Thursday or something like that. Thursday morning.
Yeah, I can do Thursday morning. Yeah.
I think I'm clear Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday morning's all right.
Okay. I'll send it up to Thursday morning, 10:30 or something like that, and then we can work from there. All right?
Yep. Thank you.
Good. Right. Anybody else want to ask anything or go through anything else?
Just a quick one, Chris. A couple of weeks ago, we asked to move to 11.3, which has not come through yet. I'm just.
Shall I miss out 11.3 and do 11.4?
Yeah. There's not much difference.
I didn't realise I missed you off the list. I did a batch of them on the weekend, so missed you off. Sorry. I'll do it. I'll try and do it tomorrow.
Yeah, great. Thanks.
It's really just a warning for others, which we very recently found out, because we got a warning from Stripe to say our accounts were about to be frozen. And this turned up because we've actually got 3 accounts with Stripe. One was membership, one general, one for groups. And we hadn't realised that for each of them, you have to go in and change the personnel.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I've had that several times.
Oh, existent.
Gold cardless is even worse.
Hang on, you have to change the what?
All the people.
Yeah.
What people?
All the
responsible people.
All the trustees.
Yeah.
Now, if when you go into like your membership and you go into the little cog for the group, you've got the team. You go down to the team, and then up comes the names that you've got in. We had an ex membership secretary there who I couldn't remove because he was the owner. That was one problem.
Was this in Stripe or U3AWeb?
There's
no Stripe.
It's Stripe.
And in gold cardless.
Yeah. And then because he was in as the owner, he had set it up for obviously Stripe would send him a 6-digit code to his mobile number to say, is this all right to authorize? And of course he has to confirm it. We're trying to get the new and the old to sit together at the same time. That caused hassle. Then they were going, luckily enough, we got it done, but we hadn't realized that at that time, we got him out, we got the new person in. Stripe then wanted their birth date.
Yeah, that's right. Above all the birthdays, everything.
Yeah. But it wasn't just for the membership one, which is what we thought it was for. It also wanted you to change it for the groups, for the
yeah, that's right.
For the events. You have to do each individual one.
Yeah. You've missed the best part out, actually, Stephen. They don't freeze the account. All they do is freeze the payouts.
Yeah, freeze the payouts. Yeah, that's it. And that was, so thanks, Neil. I'm glad somebody else has had the same problem.
Yes, they're not stopping you using it. It's just can't have any money out of it.
Yeah. Oh, it was, anyway. I mean, we ended up with, because I did a trip recently, not Stripe, this was actually the bank account because it hadn't been used for 2 years. They froze the bank account, and so there was £330 odd pound sitting in that account that hadn't gone through. Anyway.
And it's still sitting there.
Yes, Diane, I thought that might get you on board. It is still sitting there. Luckily enough, what then happened is that somehow, I'm not sure whether Diane, they've actually now that money has gone, it has been paid back. No, where did it go? It went into I had to flick on Stripe account and retry to get it to go to the bank. It did. That was through the balance bit. No,
it shows in the bank it should be in on the web. Yeah. But it's actually in the bank that's frozen that they haven't changed the mandate of.
Yeah.
So we get a note. It looks to me as though if you've got a charity number in, they check the charity records against you.
Ah, that might make sense.
Yeah, because that's what it says. Your details don't match your charity.
Yeah.
Because I forget to do it, you see.
It's all been done. It was all done because our ex-secretary, she did it all, and it's all happened. We'll have to have a look, Diane, see where it is.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether the charity commission details have been changed because.
Oh, that's all right then. They won't know.
I don't do that. It's the secretary that does it, and I don't know if the new secretaries have done it.
No, Julie did it for us. Our old secretary.
Yes, but Julie won't have put the new people in, will she?
She has. Yeah, she has.
She has. Oh,
she has. But yeah, it was just, I don't know. You see, I don't, because it was asking, because it's the other thing it does, it will ask you, it either sends an email or it sends you a text to your mobile number that you have to confirm. That,
an OTP?
Yeah. Oh, what? Yeah. One time pass. Yeah.
Well, I usually authenticate it.
Yeah. And that hadn't, but we hadn't realised that you had to do it for each of the accounts.
Yeah, well, they've all got separate, potentially they're different bank accounts, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah.